Hi, I'm Metronomer. If you've tuned into my content before, you would know that I love chunk accounts. If you don't know what that is, basically, the RuneScape map is broken up into a grid, or what we call chunks. And chunking is essentially locking yourself to a certain area of the RuneScape map until you complete all of the tasks that that chunk holds. But if there is one thing that I love more than chunking, it is RuneScape. And I mean all of RuneScape. Old school RuneScape and RS3. RuneScape 3, or RS3 as it's known, is the modern version of OSRS and a continuation of the game that we have all loved since 2001. RS3 is known for its innovations, like the introduction of the evolution of combat system in 2012, its fully customizable interface, plus a load of diverse new skills and content. Now, you may not like RS3, but if you like RuneScape, you may be interested to see what RS3 has to offer. And that's why, as a RuneScape lover, I have decided to start a challenge and take it to the next level with the Chunkman account. It's going to be a mix of nostalgia and creativity, forcing us to explore and appreciate every inch of this amazing world, one chunk at a time. Meet my new character, Wallaby Swamp, named after a real-life place I recently drove through here in Australia. Wallaby Swamp is ready to start on his chunking adventure. But the biggest question is, what chunk do I start at? As a chunkman, your starting chunk is pretty much the only flexibility you get when you begin your account. And I have some preferences I want to consider this time round when I'm picking my starting chunk. The first one is, I don't want to get any 99 cape to begin with. I will go for skill capes in the future, but as a start, I don't want to worry about getting one. The second one is, I need to make sure that I have access to a bank. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not a UAM, and I want to be able to bank my stuff. The next is, I don't want to woodcut. I'm not sure if you've seen my recent old school series, but if you have, you know that I just spent way too much time woodcutting, and I don't want to do that anytime soon. And finally, I want to have access relatively quickly to my favorite skill, which is summoning. People hate it, but I love having a little spirit creature that helps you with certain tasks, and I want to use summoning familiars in a way no one has before. To begin with summoning, you would usually have to start in Tavali and complete the quest Wolf Whistle with the main summoning guy Pick Up Sticks, who also has the 99 summoning cape, so that's automatically off the cards. That means I need to be near a large obelisk to be able to create pouches. There is 9 large obelisks in the game, and only 3 of them are not locked at the start of the game for me. From looking at that, it seems like there was only one area of the map that was able to tick all of the boxes for me, and that was the desert. The desert has no trees, 2 potential large obelisks, and no close 99 capes. But where in the desert should I start? And then it hit me. Let's start towards the bottom of the map and work our way up. Let's start in Menaphos. Menaphos, also known as the Golden City, is a grand city located in the desert. It was introduced to the game on June 5, 2017, and it serves as one of RuneScape 3's mid-level hubs. To be able to get into Menaphos, you must complete 3 novice quests with literally no requirements. These are Stolen Hearts, the RS3 remake of the Prince Ali Rescue quest, Diamond in the Rough, and the Jack of Spades. Once accessed, Menaphos is then split into 4 specific districts: the Merchant District, the Imperial District, the Port District, and the Worker District. I will go into these districts a bit more in the future. However, for my starting chunk, I've decided to pick the Worker District chunk. But before we get there and go through what the chunk has in store for us, please watch this sped up reenactment of me completing Stolen Hearts while I go over my chunk rule set. If you aren't aware, basically the rules of Xtreme One Chunk Ironman are, well, the number 1 rule is that you have to be an Ironman, obviously. So that means that everything that I do is self-sufficient. I can't trade anyone. can't buy anything off the Grand Exchange. Everything I do on this account will be completely myself. What then happens is, when I start in my Menaphos workers chunk, I must do all the content that is possible for me to do in that chunk before I roll another random chunk and then complete all the tasks that I can do in that chunk. Basically what this means is I'll be completing the game one set area at a time. Now, the key difference between RS3 and old school is basically there is a lot more group content that is stretched throughout the game in RS3, which means that in the event there is something group-based, the normal rules for Xtreme One Chunk Ironman are that you don't have to do group content. I would like to do group content in the future, but if I don't have the ability to do it because I can't get groups or whatever it is, I won't be doing it. But also as well is that, as you'll see as we progress through this series, the ability to get gear, especially in the early levels of RS3, is a lot different to old school, which will mean that in the event that I roll an early boss, there's probably a chance that I'm not able to do it. I will try it. I will try and do everything I can. But if not, I will backlog it and I will get to it as soon as I am able to do so. That leads me on to the last rule that I have as well, which is that I will be able to do and use everything that all other Ironman are able to use, which includes auras. However, I haven't made a decision yet about the Jack of Trades. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to use the Jack of Trades for a long time, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Do you think this is cheating the system, cheating the game? Or does it seem like, random event lamps in old school? So let me know your thoughts about that in the comments below. But now that we've kind of gone through the rules, well, the basic rules, it's probably worth going and exploring our starting chunk, hey? So welcome to the workers chunk. As you can see, there is not heaps here, but what there is going to keep us busy for a very, very long period of time. So basically the outline of the chunk, because there is no, chunk plugin or anything to see where we are, is I can just go down to the shore on the left-hand side here, and I can go to the end of the first set of buildings on the right-hand side. So basically just in this little quarry area here. But I guess you're all wondering, what are the tasks that we need to do? Well, the first task is that we need to get level 50 mining to be able to mine a mineral deposit here, which will give us some sandstone. We also need to get level 84 crafting to make a decorated farming urn, which is going to take a very, very long time, as you'll see in a second. And the third thing that we need to do is obtain the break taker, the break taker achievement and title, which is basically for resting at a musician for a period of, I think it's 150 minutes. So we'll get that pretty easily as well. So before we move on, I just wanted to make note for everyone that I actually lost quite a bit of footage from the start of this account. I'm sorry, but what are you going to do? Shit happens. So we're just going to move on with what we've got. But I wanted to give a rundown of what I was doing when I started this account. So basically, as soon as I got to the worker chunk, there's only two main things that I can do. It's mine clay and turn that clay into pottery. Now, if you are familiar with making pottery, basically what I need to do is I mine some clay, I then turn that clay into soft clay, and then I then use the potter's wheel to make that clay into whatever object I want. Now, as you can see on screen here, I have made quite a bit of pottery because that's all I can do. But if you weren't aware about how the workers chunk or Menaphos works, is basically when you get to the chunk, you don't have access to a bank. You need to earn reputation. Each faction has reputation up to tier 10, kind of like how Zaya used to work in old school. And you get, you do activities and you get what's called reputation. But until you get tier 2, you don't have a deposit box. So that is why when you see here, when I run through what I basically did at the start of this account, it won't make sense because I had to drop everything until I had enough reputation to be able to bank, even though I couldn't access the bank. So we started by mining, what are we mining? Mining clay. And we mined clay and turned that from level 1 crafting to level 4 crafting. We made that into empty pots, which wasn't that many. We then made clay rings until we could make pie dishes at level 7. And then from level 7 to level 8, we made pie dishes. And then at level 8, we made bowls till level 19 crafting, which we then made plant pots. And then from level 19 to level 25 crafting, we made pot lids. And pot lids gave a total of 40 experience, which meant that until level 44, we made the pot lids until we could make the plain woodcutting urns, which you can see we made 331 of them, which got us to level 48 crafting. And then from 48 to 49 crafting, we made those woodcutting mining urns, which we then started making plain smelting urns. We made 224 of them, which then got us to level 51 cooking, which allowed us to make the strong cooking urns. And then we made the strong cooking urns to level 53, which we then started making fishing urns. And then after the fishing urns, we then started making at level 56 divination urns. And then from divination urns, we then started to make... we actually made hunter urns as well from 55 to 56. And then from 56 to 58 crafting, we made the divination urns. And then at level 58 crafting, we made farming urns to level 61 crafting. And then from level 61 crafting onwards, we have made the strong woodcutting urns, which we are going to need to make for a very long time. So we still got a lot of progress to make before we hit that level 84 crafting goal, which means we're going to be stuck in this chunk for a very, very, very long time, just mining and crafting away. There are two main ways that I can earn reputation while I'm in Menaphos, and both of them are able to happen within my chunk. And this is by Soul Obelisk and Scarabs, which we'll get to in a second. Soul Obelisk, as you can see, basically spawns in every world every 90 minutes or so. It can be in one of the 4 factions, so I've got a 1 in 4 chance that it's in the world that I can do. Basically what you do is you click on it and you cleanse the obelisk and it grants you reputation. Now, another goal that I didn't mention before is that I want to try and max my workers' reputation before I get out of this chunk as well. And the main way that I'm going to do that is by using these soul obelisks. Now, these soul obelisks as well give you some rune crafting XP, which actually means that I've got a rune crafting training method, I guess you could say. However, it's very random, so it won't lead to any chunk goals at this point in time. But what it does mean is that it will grow my total level, which is great, and who knows what we'll use that for in the future. Now, the other way that I can get reputation in Menaphos is by stepping and squashing corrupted scarabs. Now, these scarabs are great and actually are very important for my plans in the future, because stepping on these scarabs grants you Slayer XP, which is amazing. The Slayer XP is scaled to your level, as is the runecrafting XP. But the main thing is that I have a way to train my Slayer basically at level 3 combat, because there's nothing in this chunk that I can kill. So that's very, very exciting. And when you squash the scarabs, you also have the ability to either be granted coins, or very rarely you get a small prismatic star. Now, if you don't know what stars do, basically they grant you bonus XP in any skill you want. And this is amazing for me because I can chuck this into crafting at the moment and speed up the crafting grind, because the crafting is slow as shit. So I'm really hoping that squashing these is really going to speed up this grind in the future. But these are very important, and basically the only way that I'll be able to get reputation moving forward in this chunk. And thank you for listening to my introductory TED Talk on how I am going to be playing Chunkman RS3 style, but I want to get into it. I'm excited. Let's grind. Let's pump it out, and let's try and get out of this chunk to roll as quick as possible. And here we are. It's been a long day crafting, trying to pump this out. But we are just about to, with these urns, get 75 crafting. Look at that. Wow, that's taken a long time. Look at all the unlocks. 75 is a big level, actually. Look at that. We've got Ring of Slaying, Coifs, Undead Dragonhide, which would be cool. I doubt we're ever going to get it, but Death Warden maybe in the future. Smoking Kills, Ring of Slaying. Now that may be useful in the future, but we will have to wait and see. And another big unlock. Look at that. Level 40 rune crafting solely from soul obelisks in this chunk. Astral runes, that'd be great, but we're never going to use them. But may as well keep getting the XP. And we have some scarabs. Let's just crush them. This is the best thing when I get these spawns saying that scarabs are around. Let me just heal up quickly so I don't die. They're just honestly the best thing. I'm really enjoying having the ability to get some Slayer XP, and I think it's really cool that I can get Slayer XP without actually killing a monster. Well, I haven't killed anything yet. So we should get pretty close to getting a Slayer level here if these spawns are good. Let's see. Really have to click fast. If I spam click here as well, you actually get a couple of them per click. Let's see. Getting close. Or I may kill myself. My bad. Okay, we're back. Can I get this Slayer level? I think I can. I think the spawn's going to be good for me. Let's see. Burst. I hate it when other people are stomping them. It really stops or makes it harder for me to go up. But yes, there we are. Got it. 58 Slayer Cave Horrors. Cool for the Slayer Helm, but they are so far away. I'm never getting that. Unspeakable Horrors. I have no idea what they are, but sounds cool.
So I just missed it, but I hit 77 crafting, and that means that I can now make decorated rune crafting urns, making my first one here now. I'm pretty sure these are more experienced than the fishing urns. Yeah, it looks like it. That's 51 XP. 150k to level 78. Also, officially halfway to 84, which if you don't know, the way that leveling works is that every 7 levels you need to double that to get to that level. So to get to 84, I'm going to need to double this XP, which is great. And let's just confirm. Yeah, definitely more XP. Awesome. We'll check back in soon. 65 mining and the lava flow mine unlocked, which I probably will never get to.
And there's another cool level. Missed 41, I think, because I was on mobile, but 42 rune crafting. And here we are. I just missed it, but I got level 59 Slayer from Scarabs. Very nice. And just got that one. There we are. 78 crafting. My god, crafting takes so long. It is so boring. Just mining and turning them into urns, but I think the urns are really going to be pretty powerful in the future once I get my hands on some runes and I can charge them. So let's keep going. Now I'm going to show you an example run here and how long it takes for me to get that sweet crafting experience. So the first thing that I do is I run over to these clay rocks and mine as much clay as possible. So as we go, with the mining and smithing rework, you know, if you click it, you mine it a little bit faster with your stamina. Not that it makes much difference for me, but hey, we will click it when we can. You're probably noticing as well here that I have a challenge, which is one of the first daily challenges that I have had, which is to craft urns, which is pretty exciting because I literally never get these whatsoever. So I probably will be able to tick this off once I finish with the clay here. Now, what we'll do is, yep, okay, let's run over. So we run over to this well, which really isn't that far away either, and we use the soft clay. And with that soft clay, we wet the clay to become soft clay. Now, once we get this soft clay, we are able to turn it into urns, and this is actually one of the reasons why I was pretty happy to have this chunk, is that I can basically do all the pottery together. So it's very, very self-sufficient, which is great. And like I said before, I think it's going to be a pretty big benefit. Now there we are. So we finished the soft clay. So we run from the soft clay and we walk over the pottery wheel. We make our decorated rune crafting urns, which this part's the quickest part here. 2 clay per urn. So we're going to make 14. Yeah, we'll definitely get this daily challenge. And whilst we do that, we then run over to the urn and we fire away. And this part really isn't that quick. I probably could just keep making urns, but I want to use them eventually in the future anyway, so may as well use them while we can. Gosh, I love the bonus XP from this aura. It's not much, but it's honest work. It really helps, and I think it'll, cut down the amount of urns I need to make, maybe by like 400 or 500 in the end, which is pretty crazy. And there we go, challenge completed. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know this was a challenge, so that is amazing. I wonder how much XP we will get from this, because like this might be like a whole 30 minutes to an hour's XP just in this one. Where are we going to go? So 78 challenges. First one, let's claim the reward. Wow, okay, that was 17k experience. That is amazing. I need more of them. Come on, Jagex, I need as many as possible. And whilst I just heal up here, you can see that I got another rune crafting level 44, can make nature runes, which may be interesting in the future. Come on, splat. Die. There we are, come on. Bang. Ooh, I just got a star, yes, and 60 Slayer. So we got a prismatic star and 60 Slayer. Couldn't have timed that more perfectly, look at that. 60 Slayer without killing any monster. Level 3 combat. Look at that. That is crazy. Let's see. Where is it? It might not be a quick chat option. Maybe it's not. No. I wanted to see if I had a 0 task, but I don't. Doesn't come up because I don't have a Slayer task. Okay. Just get the rest of these Scarabs. Run. And let's use this star on crafting. And with this urn. No, with this next urn. Another day, another urn. Almost, come on. We're getting there. And with this one? No. There we go. Level 79 crafting. My god, can cut Hydrix. Far out, these levels are taking so long. Moonstone bracelet, Hydrix ring. Could be interesting in the future. Don't think I'll be there for a couple of years, but the main one is the decorated hunting urn. More XP, even better. And as you can see with these Scarabs, we just unlocked the bank chest in the Imperial District, which means we can now go back to picking a faction that we want to max. I don't know. Don't know. I could really roll any of them, which means I would need to get level 10. Probably do ports. Just get ports to level 10, I think. It's probably the easiest one. But these are actually lasting longer than I thought they would, which may mean that I can get a Slayer level here as well. Fun spam click. Oh, yes. There we go. Look at that. Level 61 Slayer, rum pumped crab. That's a big level. Let's look at that. Ooh, and one of the requirements for a clockwork syringe, which I probably will never do, but interesting nonetheless. And then I am grateful for these obelisks. And there we go. Look at that. Level 46 crafting. Rune crafting, sorry. Gosh, without ever making a rune. What can we do? Click it. 2 body runes. Body runes, I think, are pretty close. And look, there is 62 Slayer, which I got without pressing record. But I can do Heroes Welcome. Potentially one day. And yeah, let's do this. Fire up the urns. And bam, look at that, level 80 crafting. The first level 80 on the account without leaving this chunk. Got a requirement for invention, which I need divination and smithing, which potentially when I get there I could have, which is interesting. Don't know what I'm going to do with capes there yet, but look at that 80. This may seem like a short time for you guys, but my god, this has taken such a long time. Mining every single piece of clay to be able to make these urns is wild. Absolutely wild. But we do what we've got to do, hey? 4 more levels to go. And I think we will call it there for today's episode. So first off, thank you for watching. I hope you're enjoying RS3 Xtreme One Chunk Ironman. It's a little bit different. There's not many of us out there, but the grinds are, if not more insane than our old school, is just as insane as old school. So thank you very much for watching. And we have ticked off one of our chunk tasks so far in the workers chunk, which is to get to 50 mining. Even though I lost the footage of it, you would have seen from the videos that we hit over 60, so that is amazing. We've got 80 crafting, so only 4 more crafting levels to go, which means that we should have a chunk roll hopefully pretty soon, because that's the biggest grind. And we've been working slowly on the break taker title as well, which we will get. So no issues with that. So we are almost there. So first off, thank you very much for watching. And if you've liked this, please like, subscribe, chuck a comment in there. and we'll be back before you know it. Take care.